Namaste, Dandava Pranam. By the instruction and grace of our spiritual master, Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa, Sripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj, we are here reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Also, we are giving our full obeisances and dandavats to Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parvradikacharya, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, for providing us this very wonderful translation and commentary of Bhagavatam, and following the orders of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, who said, unless we can understand Srimati Radharani within the 18,000 verses of Bhagavatam, then our study has been for waste if we haven't done that. Following his guidance, we offer our prayers to Srimati Radharani. Yadi seva vanchetasyama yasya kripaya vayam labema sarvam prapnuma prayojanam damni Shri Bhagavat Pade Krishna sambandhi sarvam cha yadi na jani mahe tutam astadashasu sahasreshu shlokanam Bhagavat oktishu radharanim na vindamatara nisfalam Bhagavat adhyayanam radhikaya kripam vina vyartasyat sarva parishrama. If we are cheated out of serving that personality whose mercy awards us everything we need, including residence in the Lord's holy Dham, and all things connected to Krishna, and if we cannot understand or discover Radharani within the 18,000 verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, then our study of Srimad Bhagavatam has been pointless. Without the mercy of Srimati Radharani, all our efforts are in vain. So we are continuing from Canto 4, the creation of the fourth order, chapter 24, chanting the song sung by Lord Śiva, text 71. Yogadesham upasadya dharhayanto munivrata samahita diya sarva Etad abhyasa tardrita. My dear princes, in the form of a prayer, I have delineated the yoga system of chanting the holy name. All of you should take this important stotra within your minds and promise to keep it in order to become great sages. By acting silently like a great sage and by giving attention and reverence, you should practice this method. Purport. In the Hatha Yoga system, one has to practice bodily exercises, dhyana, dharana, asana, meditation, etc. One also has to sit in one place, in a particular posture, and concentrate his gaze on the tip of the nose. There are so many rules and regulations for the Hatha Yoga system that it is practically impossible to perform in this age. The alternative system of Bhakti Yoga is very easy, not only in this age, but in others as well. For this yoga system was advocated long ago by Lord Śiva when he advised the princes, the sons of Maharaj Prachinabarhisat. The Bhakti Yoga system is not newly introduced, for even 5,000 years ago, Lord Krishna recommended this Bhakti Yoga as the topmost yoga. As Krishna tells Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita 6.47, Yoginam apisarvesham madgatanan taratmanam shradhavan bhajate yomam same yuktat damomata. Of all yogis, he who has always abided in me with great faith, worshipping me in transcendental loving service, is most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. The topmost yogi is he who constantly thinks of Krishna within himself and chants the glories of the Lord. In other words, the system of Bhakti Yoga has been existing from time immemorial and is now continuing in this Krishna consciousness movement. The word Muni Vrata is significant in this regard because those who are interested in advancing in spiritual life must be silent. Silence means talking only of Krishna Katha. This is the silence of Maharaj Ambarish. Savai mana Krishna Padhara Vindayor Vachamsi Vaikunta Gunanuvarnane. Yes. King Ambarish always fixed his mind on the lotus feet of the Lord and talked of him only. Bhagavatam 9.4.19. We should also take this opportunity in life to become as good as a great saint, simply by not talking unnecessarily with unwanted persons. We should either talk of Krishna or chant Hare Krishna undeviatingly. This is called Muni Vrat. The intelligence must be very sharp, samahita diya, and should always be acting in Krishna consciousness. The words etad abhyasatardrita indicate that if one takes these instructions from a spiritual master with great reverence, adrita, and practices them accordingly, he will find this bhakti yoga process to be very, very easy. 72. Idham aha puramakam bhagavan vishvas kritpati brigvadinam atmajanam Sisruksha samishishchatam. This prayer was first spoken to us by Lord Brahma, the master of all creators. The creators, headed by Bhrigu, were instructed in these prayers because they wanted to create. Purport. Lord Brahma was created by Lord Vishnu. Then Lord Brahma created Lord Śiva and the other great sages headed by Bhrigu Muni. These great sages included Bhrigu, Marichi, Atreya, Vashista, and others. All these great sages were in charge of creating population. Since there were not very many living entities in the beginning, Vishnu entrusted Brahma with the business of creation, and Brahma, in his turn, created many hundreds and thousands of demigods and great sages to continue with the creation. At the same time, Lord Brahma cautioned all his sons and disciples by reciting the prayers now recited by Lord Śiva. The material creation means material engagement. But material engagements can be counteracted if we always remember our relationship with the Lord as that relationship is described in these prayers recited by Lord Śiva. In this way, we can remain constantly in touch with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, despite our engagement in the creation, we cannot be deviated from the path of Krishna consciousness. The Krishna consciousness movement is especially meant for this purpose. In this material world, everyone is engaged in some particular occupational duty which is prescribed in the Varnashram Dharma. Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Sudras, and everyone are engaged in their occupational duty, but if one remembers his first duty, keeping in constant contact with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, everything will be successful. If one simply executes the rules and regulations of the Varnashram Dharma in the role of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Sudra, and keeps busy and does not remember one's eternal relationship with the Lord, one's business and activities as well as occupational duties will simply be a waste of time. This is confirmed in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.8. Dharmasvanustita pumsam vishvakshena katasuya notpadhayed yadiratim shramha eva hi kevalam. The conclusion is that even if one is busy executing his occupational duty, his business in Krishna consciousness need not be hampered. He has simply to execute the devotional service of Shravanam Kirtanam, hearing, chanting, and remembering. One need not abandon his occupational duty. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 18.46, Yata pravrittir bhutanam yena sarvam idam tatam swakarmana tam abhyarcha siddhim vindhati manava. By worship of the Lord, who is the source of all beings and who is all-pervading, man can, in the performance of his own duty, attain perfection. Thus, one can continue with his occupational duty, but if he worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead as Lord Śiva herein prescribes, he attains his perfection of life. Svanustitasya dharmasya samsiddhir haritoshanam. Bhagavatam 1.2.13. We should continue executing our occupational duties, but if we try to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead by our duties, then our lives will be perfected. 73. Te bhayam nodita sarve prajasarge prajisvara anena dvasta tamasa sisrikshmo vividha praja. When all the Prajapatis were ordered to create by Lord Brahma, we chanted these prayers in praise of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and became completely free from all ignorance. Thus we were able to create different types of living entities. Purport. In this verse we can understand that the various types of living entities were created simultaneously at the very beginning of the creation. The nonsensical Darwinian theory of evolution is not applicable here. It is not that intelligent human beings did not exist millions of years ago. On the contrary, it is understood that the most intelligent creature, Lord Brahma, was first created. Then Lord Brahma created other saintly sages like Marichi, Bhrigu, Atreya, Vashishta, and Lord Shiva. They in their turn created different types of bodies according to karma. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Kapila Dev told his mother that the living entity gets a particular type of body in accordance with his work, and that this body is decided upon by higher authorities. The higher authority, as appointed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, are Lord Brahma and all other Prajapatis and Manus. Thus, from the beginning of creation, it can be seen that the first creature is the most intelligent. It is not that so-called modern intelligence has developed by the gradual process of evolution. As stated in the Brahma Vaivarta Purana, there is a gradual evolutionary process, but it is not the body that is evolving. All the bodily forms are already there. It is the spiritual entity or spiritual spark within the body that is being promoted by the laws of nature under the supervision of superior authority. We can understand from this verse that from the very beginning of creation, different varieties of living entities were existing. It is not that some of them have become extinct. Everything is there. It is due to our lack of knowledge that we cannot see things in their proper perspective. In this verse, the word vasta tamasa is very important. For without being free of ignorance, one cannot control the creation of different types of living entities. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 3.31.1, Daiva Netrina, bodies are awarded under the supervision of superior powers. How can these superior powers control the evolutionary process of the living entity if they are not freed from all imperfection? The followers of the Vedic instructions cannot accept Darwinian theory of evolution, for it is marred by imperfect knowledge. Text 74. Atedam nitya dhayukto japan abhahita puman Achirachreya apnoti Vasudeva Parayana. A devotee of Lord Krishna, whose mind is always absorbed in him, who with great attention and reverence chants this stotra or prayer, will achieve the greatest perfection of life without delay. Purport. Perfection means becoming a devotee of Lord Krishna. As stated in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.28, Vasudeva Paravedha Vasudeva Paramaka. The ultimate goal of life is Vasudeva Krishna. Any devotee of Lord Krishna can attain all perfection, material gains, and liberation simply by offering prayers to him. There are many varieties of prayers to Lord Krishna chanted by great sages and great personalities such as Lord Brahma and Lord Śiva. Lord Krishna is known as Śiva Virinchi Nutam, Bhagavatam 11.5.33. Śiva means Lord Śiva and Virinchi means Lord Brahma. Both of these demigods are engaged in offering prayers to Lord Vasudeva Krishna. If we follow in the footsteps of such great personalities and become devotees of Lord Krishna, our lives will become successful. Unfortunately, people do not know this secret. Nate vidhu svarta gatim hi Vishnum. They do not know that the real interest and the highest perfection of life is to worship Lord Vishnu, Krishna. Bhagavatam 7.5.31. It is impossible to become satisfied by trying to adjust the external energy. Without being a devotee of the Lord Krishna, one can only be baffled and confused. To save the living entities from such a calamity, Lord Krishna points out in Bhagavad Gita 7.19, Bahunam janmanam hante jnanavamam prapadyante vasudeva sarvam miti samahatma sudurlabha. After many, many births and deaths, a wise man surrenders unto me, knowing very well that I, Vasudevam, am everything. Such a great soul is very rare. We can achieve whatever benediction we want simply by becoming devotees of Vasudeva. And thus ends our reading for today. We will continue from text 75 on Monday. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Sripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Acharya Dev Ki Jai. Jai Sri Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the worldwide devotees. Sama Bhaktivedanta Vrinda Ki Jai. Jai Navadvip Dham Ki Jai, Nishangapali Dham Ki Jai, Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Yamuna Mai Ki Jai, Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Giri Govardhan Gupta Govardhan Dham Ki Jai, Shyam Kund Radha Kund Ki Jai, Tulsi Devi, Bhakti Devi, Vrinda Devi Ki Jai. Jai Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai, Jai Harinam Sankirtan Yagya Ki Jai, Scientific Sankirtan Yagya Ki Jai. Princeton Bhaktivedanta Institute Ki Jai, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi Hari 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 Bol. Jai Shrimati Umadevi Dasi Ki Jai. Hare Krishna.
Sripad Krishna Kesha Prabhuji ki jai.
Jai Gurudev.
No problem.
Dhanavad.